Stephanie White, no call, no show, no phone, not even there. Last night, the Indiana Fever went up against Angel Reese in the Atlanta Dream. Caitlin Clark debuting her new shoe, her signature shoe, the Caitlin Ones. Last night would have been a night where if you really had your teammates back.
No call, no show. That's how this analyst just described the Indiana Fever's effort when their teammate needed them most. And he's not talking about missing practice. He's talking about a pattern that's been destroying this team all season long. Sophie Cunningham's return to Phoenix. Angel Reese mocking Caitlin Clark on her signature shoe debut night. Same story, different game. The Fever don't show up for each other when it matters.
They showed up for Angel Reese. They showed up. Ryan Howard showed up. Alicia Gray showed up. The bench showed up. The coach, smart challenge to steal a possession.
Look at that contrast. Atlanta Dream versus Indiana Fever. One team rallied around their star when she went at Caitlin Clark. The other team watched their franchise player get taunted and did absolutely nothing. Ryan Howard showed up. Alicia Gray showed up. Even the coach made smart challenges to steal possessions. Meanwhile, Stephanie White forgot she was coaching a professional basketball team. The gap between these two organizations on January 23rd wasn't talent, it was heart.
I know these players on the Indiana Fever saw it. Do you want to know how I know? They're chronically online. These players are chronically online. I know you guys are on your phones. I know you guys are scrolling Twitter. I know you guys are scrolling Instagram. I know you guys are scrolling TikTok. I know you guys saw Angel Reese walk in holding her shoes. I know you guys saw Angel Reese mock Caitlin Clark on the court. I know you saw Angel Reese laughing at Caitlin Clark going after the refs. I know you guys saw it.
Here's what makes this inexcusable. These players are chronically online. They live on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. They saw Angel Reese walk into Gamebridge Fieldhouse wearing all black, carrying her shoes, mimicking Caitlin's entrance shot for shot. They watched her mock Caitlin during the game, laugh at her, box her out with extra physicality. Every single Fever...
Oh, we're not going to let this team come to our home court and outplay us on both sides of the ball. I'm going to step up for you. If I'm the coach, I'm not going to come in and get out-coached like I do every single game. I'm actually going to step up. I'm going to take my head out of my ass, and I'm going to coach like a professional, not an amateur. Stephanie White coaches like an amateur, but she always does. And then what do we see after that? Well, now we see Angel Reese walking in. The same exact walk. How funny is it? Caitlin Clark wears all white.
This is where championship teams separate themselves from pretenders. When your teammate debuts her signature shoe, when she's getting targeted by an opponent who's making it personal, that's when you step up. If Lexi Hull is guarding Angel Reese, she doesn't let her get one dribble off. If Kelsey Mitchell has the matchup, she's taking Angel to the rack every single possession. You make a statement, you protect your own. Instead, the Fever played like it was a random Tuesday in November. No intensity, no fire, no backbone. The defensive effort was pathetic. Atlanta's role players looked like all-stars because nobody on Indiana bothered to contest shots or communicate on screens. Naz Hillman and Alicia Gray stepped up for their teammate, the Fever's supporting cast, invisible. Monique Billings wasting minutes, Lexi Hull wasting possessions. Temi Fagbenle nowhere to be found when physicality ramped up.
Bad. If I'm D'ing her up, she's not getting one dribble off on me. If she's guarding me, I'm taking her to the rack every single time. I'm going off on Angel tonight. She ain't getting double-digit rebounds tonight. Maybe Saturday, but not tonight. No, they didn't care. They didn't step up. Then we see this. Angel Reese mocking Caitlin Clark in the middle of the game. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
And this isn't new. Rewind to Sophie Cunningham's return to Phoenix last season. Sophie was ready to prove something against her former team. She needed her new teammates to match her energy, to show the Mercury they made a mistake letting her walk. What happened? The rest of the Fever sleepwalked through the game. Sophie showed up alone. No one had her back. No one said, "Tonight we're going to war with you." They treated it like any other loss. Fast forward to the Connecticut Sun game this season. The Fever were getting dominated until Sophie Cunningham went nuclear in the fourth quarter, hitting 3 after 3 after 3 to steal a win. Without that individual heroics, they're getting blown out at home. One player bailed out an entire roster that refused to compete for 3 quarters. See the pattern? The Indiana Fever survive on individual brilliance, not collective effort. Caitlin Clark drops 40 points to drag them over the finish line. Sophie catches fire to save them from embarrassment. But when those stars need support, when they need their teammates to elevate in the big moments, the Fever go missing.
Your team proceed to do? Not play defense at all. Not play defense an ounce. Not ready to play. Not ready to stand up for each other. Not ready to go into war together. They go into war. They fight individual battles. Kelsey's going to fight her little individual battle. Aaliyah's going to do her little individual battle.
Let's talk about coaching, because Stephanie White deserves her share of blame here. She gets out-coached every single night. Against Atlanta, she had no answer for their defensive adjustments, no counter when they started trapping Caitlin, no timeout to settle her team when the Dream went on runs. She just stood there watching her team fall apart, making zero impact on the outcome. This is supposed to be an upgrade over Christy Sides. White was brought in because of her Indiana connections, her WNBA experience, her championship pedigree as a player. Instead, she's coaching like an amateur. No adjustments, no accountability, no fire. When your star player is getting disrespected on her biggest night of the season, you as a head coach need to send a message. Call a play for her. Get her an easy bucket. Show the other team that targeting
money and space. You got all these players wasting time, money, and space. All these coaches wasting time, money, and space. Now this team's going to make the playoffs because the league isn't that good. But without Caitlin Clark coming to save the day, without Sophie Cunningham making, 3 threes in the fourth quarter, 4 threes in the fourth quarter, whatever that it was against the Connecticut Sun. Without that, this team's a first-round exit. Without that, this team is a first-round exit. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me.
Here's the brutal truth about this Indiana Fever roster. Without Caitlin Clark's transcendent talent, they're a lottery team. Without Sophie Cunningham's occasional explosions, they're unwatchable. The supporting cast isn't just mediocre, they're actively hurting this team's chances. Monique Billings provides nothing on either end. Lexi Hull disappears for games at a time. Temi Fagbenle can't stay healthy or consistent. These players are wasting roster spots, wasting salary cap space, wasting Caitlin Clark's prime years. And the saddest part? This team is still making the playoffs because the WNBA isn't deep enough to punish them. 12 teams, 8 make it. The Fever will stumble into the postseason with a losing record and get bounced in the first round. Book it now. They don't have the mentality to win in May and June when the intensity triples and role players need to step up. They can barely handle regular season games against the Dream. Think about what this team could be if everyone brought the same intensity Caitlin brings every night. If Kelsey Mitchell attacked with her scoring ability instead of settling. If Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint like her talent suggests she should. If the bench provided anything resembling NBA-level energy, this roster has enough pieces to compete. What they lack is heart. They lack the killer instinct that separates good teams from great ones. Championship teams protect their stars. They rally when someone takes a shot at their franchise player. They make opponents pay for disrespect. The Fever do the opposite. They watch Caitlin get targeted and shrug their shoulders. They see Angel Reese mocking their teammate and keep playing soft defense. They have no pride, no fight, no edge. Stephanie White needs to answer for this culture. She's the head coach. She sets the tone. If her team plays uninspired basketball, that's on her. If they don't defend their star, that's a leadership failure. If they consistently get out-hustled by opponents, that's a coaching problem. White has had months to install a defensive system, to build team chemistry, to create an identity. Instead, the Fever look exactly like they did under Christy Sides. Talented but soft, skilled but mentally weak. The front office needs to take a hard look at this roster construction too. You can't waste Caitlin Clark's rookie contract surrounded by players who don't match her competitive fire. Every team in the league would kill to have a generational talent like her. Indiana is squandering it with poor roster decisions and worse coaching. Monique Billings shouldn't be getting minutes on a playoff team. Lexi Hull shouldn't be a key rotation player if she's going to vanish in big games. These are fixable problems if management actually prioritizes winning over sentiment. But here's what really stings for Fever fans. Caitlin Clark deserves better than this. She deserves teammates who match her intensity, who protect her when opponents cross the line, who show up on her biggest nights. Instead, she's carrying a franchise that refuses to carry their weight. She's doing everything right, breaking records, selling out arenas, elevating the entire league's profile. And her reward is watching Angel Reese mock her while her teammates play like they don't care. Atlanta showed Indiana what a real team looks like. When Angel went at Caitlin, the dream had her back. They executed the game plan. They played with purpose. They made winning plays down the stretch. That's championship DNA. The Fever have none of it. They're a collection of individuals who happen to wear the same uniform, not a cohesive unit willing to sacrifice for each other. So where does Indiana go from here? They'll make the playoffs because the bar is low. They'll probably win a game or two if Caitlin goes supernova. But they're not winning a championship with this mentality, not even close. Until Stephanie White demands more, until the role players find some pride, until this team develops an actual identity beyond Caitlin Clark and friends, they're just wasting everyone's time. The question isn't whether the Fever have talent. The question is whether they have the guts to use it when the stakes are highest. Based on what we saw against Atlanta, based on the Sophie Cunningham game, based on an entire season of disappearing acts, the answer is clear. This team has no heart. And you can't teach heart in a timeout. You either have it or you don't. Indiana doesn't. What do you think? Can this Fever team develop the killer instinct they need before the playoffs, or is this roster construction fundamentally broken? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button if you agree this team needs a culture change, and subscribe because we're breaking down every WNBA storyline the mainstream media won't touch. See you in the next one.